When she pulls away, when the text goes unanswered, your first instinct is a silent scream. To chase, to prove, to fix. You feel your value draining with every silent hour. But what if I told you that silence isn't a rejection? It is an invitation, a sacred invitation from the universe, asking you to stop searching for her, and finally to find yourself. This isn't about winning a game. This is about ending the game entirely. We've been taught wrong. We were told love is a hunt, that we must fight for attention, that our worth is measured by how much someone else desires us. That is a lie. And that lie has kept you in chains. Today, we break those chains. We will not learn how to get her back. We will learn how to get you back. We will explore 7 layers of awakening, a journey to turn your panic into power, your emptiness into purpose, and her silence into the soundtrack for your greatest growth. Because the man who has mastered his internal peace never has to chase. He becomes the one who is sought. Imagine you're standing in a massive canyon. This is your psychology. When she goes silent, you yell, "Are you there?" And the silence is all you hear. So you yell again, louder, "What did I do wrong?" The silence echoes back. Panic sets in. You start throwing rocks into the darkness. Angry texts, pleading messages, long explanations. You are throwing your energy away, trying to get an echo back. This is what most men do. They fill the void with their own anxiety. But here is the truth. You are not alone in that canyon. You are in an echo chamber. And her silence is simply a space. It is waiting for you to decide what sound fills it. Your anxiety screams. Your insecurity shouts. Your fear of abandonment beats against the walls. And that is all she can feel from your end, even in silence. This is the law of relationship echo. You only get back what you truly radiate, not what you think you are giving. You think you are giving love or concern, but you are radiating fear and control. You are saying, "I need you to validate my worth." And the universe, and she, can only respond to that lack with more silence. Modern psychology calls this anxious attachment. When the person we seek safety from pulls away, our nervous system registers it as a survival threat. Your heart pounds. Your thoughts race. That's not you. That's your biological programming. I remember I was negotiating a huge business deal once. Everything was perfect, and then they went completely dark. Radio silence. For 2 weeks, my mind went wild. I reread every email. I called them. I sent a just checking in email. I radiated desperation. And you know what happened? The deal fell through. They went with another partner who, I later learned, seemed more stable. Their silence wasn't a rejection. It was a test of my stability, and I failed. Here is the first question for you. When you feel that silence, who is it that's truly panicking? Is it the man you are today? Or is it the child inside you, who was once terrified of being left behind? Understanding this is the first step to reclaiming your power. You must stop yelling in the echo chamber. You must learn to become silent first, because only when you are silent can you hear what's really happening. Many men confuse stoicism with emotional suppression. They think it means becoming cold or using silence as a weapon to punish her, to make her come back. This is a dangerous misunderstanding. That is control, and control is the other side of the coin of fear. True stoicism isn't about controlling her with your silence. It's about freeing yourself from the need to control her at all. Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher, made it clear. We cannot control external events. We can only control our response. Her silence is an external event. You cannot control it. You might have caused it, you might not have. It doesn't matter. The attempt to analyze, explain, or fix it is an attempt to control the external. It is the path to madness. Your only power lies in your response. Think of a father-son relationship. So many of us feel this pressure. A father tries to control his son's life. He picks his school, his career, his friends. He thinks he is helping or loving, but he's controlling. And what does the son do? He rebels, he grows distant, he goes silent. The relationship breaks. It's only on the day the father lets go, not angrily, but with acceptance, and says, "Son, I trust you. I am here if you need me." What happens? A year later, the son calls his father for advice on his own terms. By giving up control, the father won't the relationship. You are acting like that controlling father. You are trying to force an outcome. You are saying, "Pay attention to me. Validate me." You must let go. This is not a tactic. This is a spiritual surrender. It's the moment you say to the universe, "I accept this reality. I will not fight it. I will instead focus on the only kingdom I rule, myself." Here is your second question. Are you trying to control the relationship? Or are you trying to create a space where a relationship can flourish? The two cannot coexist. Giving up the illusion of control is the most terrifying thing a man can do. It feels like failure, but it is not. It is the doorway to real power. It is the moment you stop reacting and start observing. Now we come to the core of this transformation. I call it the still mirror principle. Imagine a lake. On a stormy day, the lake is in chaos. It churns up mud. It crashes against the shore. If you look at it, you can't see anything but its own turmoil. It reflects nothing. This is the reactive man. His mind is a storm. He is full of anxiety, anger, and need. When a woman looks at him, she doesn't see him. She only sees his chaos. Now imagine that same lake on a windless morning. It is perfectly still. The water is clear. When you look at this lake, you don't see the lake. You see a perfect reflection of yourself. You see the sky. You see the clouds. You see your own face. This is the man who has mastered his inner world. He is the still mirror. When you become still inside, not pretending to be still but actually at peace, you become a mirror. Her silence, her tests, her confusion. They hit your surface, but they do not disturb your depths, and when she looks at you, she no longer sees your panic. She sees herself. She sees her own actions reflected back. She sees her own silence. She sees her own games. There is no judgment from you, no reaction, just the clear, plain truth of her behavior. Psychology calls this mirroring or reflection. When you refuse to engage in an emotional drama, you force the other person to confront their own script. She is, subconsciously, projecting her uncertainty onto you, waiting for you to react with anxiety to confirm her power. When you don't react, that projection fails. It bounces back. She is left alone with her own feelings. This is when the shift begins. Curiosity arises. Why isn't he chasing? What is he doing? Did he meet someone else? No. He simply became the still lake. This stillness is not passive. It is not waiting. It is the most active and powerful form of living. It is the result of you doing your inner work. Your third question. If your only job in this moment was to become incredibly still, to become a mirror, what do you think she would see when all she could see is her own reflection? Your stillness becomes the most powerful answer. When you stop focusing your energy outward, on her, on the phone, on the past, that energy has to go somewhere. It comes back to you. This absence, this void she has created is not a curse. It is a gift. The average man wastes this gift. He sits in it, miserable, checking his phone, binging Netflix, waiting. The extraordinary man is different. He sees this empty space, this empty time, this empty emotional real estate, and he says, "This is my workshop. This is alchemy." You take the raw emotion of rejection and fear, and you turn it into fuel. This is the caterpillar's metaphor. To become a butterfly, the caterpillar must completely dissolve inside the chrysalis. It turns into a primordial soup, a total silence, a total absence from the world. This is your chrysalis. Her silence is your chrysalis. The question is, will you fight it, trying to break out too soon? Or will you use this dissolution to rebuild yourself from the ground up? Absence doesn't mean you hide. It means you disappear from her drama and reappear in your life. This is when you go to the gym, not to get a revenge body. You go to forge discipline. This is when you focus on that project at work, not to impress her with success, but because the work matters to you. This is when you read those books. You meditate. You walk in the woods. You reconnect with the male friends you've forgotten. You are using that absence to reappear to yourself. I have a friend who was fired from his dream job. A sudden silence. An emptiness. He could have spent the next year bitter, chasing his old bosses, applying for jobs he hated. Instead, he used that absence from work to build the company he had always dreamed of. He turned the void into a purpose. That firing was the best thing that ever happened to him. Her silence is your firing from the role of validation seeker. What will you build with this new freedom? You don't do this for her. You don't post on social media to show her how great you're doing. That is still a game. That is still yelling in the echo chamber. You do this in silence. You do this for you, because when you invest in yourself, a magical thing happens. Your energetic frequency changes. We are all radio stations. We are constantly broadcasting a frequency. When you are anxious, desperate, and needy, you are broadcasting static. It's messy, uncomfortable, and people instinctively want to turn it off. It's clingy. It repels. When you are calm, purposeful, and rooted in your own value, you are broadcasting a clear, powerful frequency. Think of it as a deep, resonant bass note. It's radiant. It attracts. She feels your panic. Even when you're not texting, she feels it in the air. Likewise, she will feel your shift. You don't have to tell her you've changed. You don't have to prove you're on your purpose. She will feel it. A woman's intuition is highly tuned to this energy. The universe or her gut will whisper to her, "He's not on that old frequency anymore. He's not waiting. He's living." This is what creates real curiosity. Not the game of silence, but the truth of your new vibration. You've stopped being radio static and become the music. Eastern philosophy talks about chi or prana. It's your life force energy. When you chase, you are leaking your chai. You are giving it away for free. When you focus inward, on your breath, on your purpose, you build your chai. You become magnetic. Have you ever been around someone like that? Someone who walks into a room and just has a presence? They aren't loud. They aren't trying to impress. They just are. They are calm. They are solid. You feel drawn to them. You want to be near them. You can become that man. Her silence is your opportunity to stop leaking energy and start building it. Here is your fifth question. If you had to describe your current energy in one word, what would it be? Waiting? Anxious? Angry? Now, what is the word you want it to be? Rooted? Creative? Free? Peaceful? Focus on becoming that word. Breathe that word. Live that word. This radiant energy isn't just for her. It's for you. It changes how you see the world, how the world sees you, and eventually how she sees you. And it will happen. Almost certainly. Once you have become the still lake. Once you have turned absence into purpose. Once your frequency has changed, the echo will return. You will get a text. Hey, or I just saw this and thought of you, or how have you been? This is the moment of truth. The old man inside you, the scared child, will cheer, "She's back! I won!" And in that moment, you risk losing everything. Because if you jump and reply immediately, "I've missed you so much. Where have you been?" You have just shown her you were the same old man. You were just waiting at the static-filled station. The old script says, make her pay. Ignore her. Be cold. That is still a game. That is still a reaction. That is still control. The awakened man, the still mirror, does something different. He does not ignore. That is childish. He does not chase. That is needy. He responds with warm detachment. Memorize that phrase. Warm but detached. He is kind. He is solid. But he is no longer available in the same way. His energy is no longer hers for the taking. His energy belongs to his purpose. A sample text might be, "Hey, her name. It's good to hear from you. I'm just prepping for a big presentation, but I hope you're doing well." Do you see? It's warm. It's good to hear from you. It shows detachment. I'm prepping for a big presentation. I have my own purpose. It's kind. Hope you're doing well. There is no anger. There are no games. There is simply the truth. The truth is you have moved on. You are no longer waiting. You are living. You have shifted from the position of the chaser to the position of the chooser. This is the fundamental shift. You are no longer trying to be chosen. You are now observing if she fits into your life. Your sixth question: if she texted you right now, would your heart leap in victory, or would you see it as a simple human connection, one of many in your full life? Your answer reveals whether you are truly free. We have come on a long journey, from the panic of the echo chamber to the peace of the still mirror. And now, we arrive at the final truth. The reason she was silent does not matter. Maybe she was busy. Maybe she met someone else. Maybe she was testing you. Maybe she was scared. It does not matter. The real reason this happened to you, the lesson the universe is trying to teach you, is this. You tried to make another person your home. You built your worth, your sense of safety, and your happiness inside another human being. And when that person walked away, they took your home with them. They left you shivering in the cold, emotionally homeless. Her silence was a painful but necessary gift. It was the universe's wake-up call, screaming at you. Stop building your happiness on land someone else owns. It is time to build your own home inside yourself. The validation you were seeking from her is the validation you have never given yourself. The peace you craved from her is the peace you have, never cultivated inside, the love you were begging. For from her is the love you have refused to give to the child. Within you, this is the sacred work. This is when you become your own father, your own mentor, your own anchor. The man who masters this becomes unshakable. Relationships may come and go. Jobs may come and go. Money may come and go, but his home inside remains. He is always at peace. He is always whole, and from this place of wholeness he no longer needs a relationship. He chooses one. He doesn't partner out of lack. He partners to share his abundance, and there is nothing on this earth more attractive than a man who needs nothing from you, because he already is everything. Your final question: what if you didn't need her? What if you were simply using her to avoid the sacred work of learning to love yourself? What would that change today? This is not just theory. Let's make it practice tonight or right now. Find 5 minutes. Just 5. Sit down. Close your eyes. Set a timer. Your only job is to focus on your breath. Feel the air come in. Feel the air go out. Inevitably, the thought of her will arise. What is she doing? Does she miss me? I hate this feeling. This is where the work begins. Do not fight the thought. Do not feed the thought, simply observe it, as if it were a cloud passing through the sky. Gently say to yourself, "Ah, there is a thought." And then gently bring your attention back to your breath. Another thought will come. This is stupid. I should just text her. Ah, there is another thought. Back to the breath. Again and again. What are you practicing? You are training your brain that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. You are not the storm. You are the still sky the storm passes through. You are the still mirror. Practice this every day. 5 minutes. That's it. You are rebuilding your nervous system. You are building your inner home, one brick, one breath at a time. This journey, from panic to purpose, was never about her. It was always about you. Her silence was the catalyst. It was the fire needed to burn away the old you, the validation-seeking you, and to forge the new man. A man rooted in his own value. A man who finds peace not in her replies but in his own breath. A man who no longer chases love but becomes its source. That is you. That is who you are becoming. This isn't just about relationships. This is about your life. If these words hit home, if you feel a truth resonating in your soul, then the real work is just beginning. Subscribe, not to my channel, but to your own journey of becoming. We aren't just watching videos here. We are building a life of meaning together. Walk this path with me, and let's begin the work.